Yeah. It's a memory lane because Battleborn, which came out in 2017, so it isn't even quite 4 years old, is straight up dead now. So I guess it's more like Memorial Lane. But shoot, this was the first game content on this channel, and I wanted to give it a visit and see whether it's even still playable. Which, I mean, yes, for anyone who bought it before the servers shut down and never uninstalled it. I get the sense from the Steam forums that you can't actually purchase it anymore, which makes sense, because while the game still launches and does have some single-player modes, it is very much a multiplayer-focused game. And while I'm pretty sure that there are some servers technically still running, this place is an absolute ghost town. I sat in a queue for longer than I cared to admit, and there were just no other players anywhere to be found. So, we gonna play with some bots, I guess. My first observation, having bots as allies is super duper frustrating. Sure, some of this was me relearning how to play Thorn, who was the closest thing I had to a main back in 2017, but a lot of it was just that the freaking turd AIs were awful at playing towards an objective, and our opponents weren't. It's not unlike Mario Kart team AIs, actually, which assume that the human player is going to carry like mad, which didn't happen, so I lost. I also tried out one of the story-based horde mode things, which worked better. The characters that were added after the release of the base game are still available for unlock, and I unlocked the healer who was dominating me in the multiplayer mode, because she seemed like she had a lot of sustain. And she did, actually. I was able to settle into a rhythm of minion killing madness that felt pretty good. The issue with playing these story modes by yourself is that you have to play them by yourself. You can't configure it to roll bots as your teammates. This was fine for me when I was facing off against the minions, but the boss fights were less good. The main issue there is that the bosses are pretty robust, and while they're not necessarily even difficult to beat single-handedly as long as you're familiar with how to use your abilities, it just takes absolutely ages to wear them down. The main draw of Battleborn, when it was bright-eyed and new, was always the interesting characters and the entertaining gameplay loop. But with nothing going on but bots, the gameplay loop is way too slow to be entertaining, which makes the characters kind of overstay their welcome. Not surprising, considering this game was designed to be played with other humans. But that does mean that without a player base, the game kinda sucks. So, Battleborn in 2020 does not live up to the potential it showed when it was new, and frankly this probably shouldn't surprise anybody. All that being said, I believe the potential is still there. The story modes would probably improve drastically with even just 2 people on a team, and that's a reasonably large chunk of the game. You just need to find people who also still have the game installed you can schedule some playtime with. And hey, if that describes something you're interested in, drop into the comments and let me know. Maybe we can bring this game back from the dead.